everybody, and welcome to the Press Box, presentation of the Dispatch and the Rock Island Argus. I'm Steve Tappa, along with my fellow sports staffer, Daniel McCarowitz. We're here to talk about the first week of the prep football season, starting up this weekend. And as we get started, two games that we're looking at from the Metro perspective that are probably the most intriguing are traditional Western Big Six games played in week one rather than week 4 or later, and that's Moline at Galesburg and Quincy at United Township. And a couple questions are going to be answered pretty quick.
And in speaking with United Township coach Ron Litchfield, he does not like his season opener being this Big Six opener for obvious reasons. You wanted those 3 weeks to kind of get your teams prepared for the conference slate, but nevertheless, they're opening. And UT and Quincy's an intriguing matchup. Quincy's got a lot of firepower coming back with Osborne and with Malik Robinson transfer, Malik Bondon, who is a linebacker. UT, Avery Pearl, returning leading rusher, and Cody Vroman. UT feels like they might have things going in the right direction, so that's an intriguing matchup. And then Moline at Galesburg. That is, to me, I think the most entertaining matchup of the first week. You have two teams who want to get in the playoffs. Matt Woods making his debut as a Moline coach, playing at Galesburg. So both should be entertaining games, and both should be, I think, pretty tight games.
Yeah, a real barometer game. New coach against a veteran coach, and a returning quarterback and a returning speedster. So deck is stacked against Moline, but let's see if they can turn around a first loss in decades to Galesburg last year. So would be remiss if we didn't mention, of course, the two title favorites playing for it again, as we expect. Rock Island and Alleman, both in the state rankings that were released this week. Of course, Rock Island opens at home against the traditional doormat, Peoria Manual. But then Saturday, Alleman goes down to Peoria to play Peoria Central, and that's going to be a head knocker.
And we learned that Alleman is preseason number 1, the Associated Press poll. Last year got second in the state, second in the Big Six. Peoria High, and talking with the former Mid-State Six coach today, said that that's the program that's on the rise in Peoria. They have a lot of athleticism. They're underclass levels last year were very good, undefeated at both the freshman and sophomore level. So Alleman's going to go into a difficult environment and difficult situation, but as we've learned with Alleman in the past couple of years, they can go into those types of situations and succeed. That doesn't faze them. They're disciplined. They execute well. So Alleman may be going into a tough environment, tough situation, but as we've seen with Alleman in the past, they can handle situations like that.
Yeah, real proving ground. And of course, Geneseo gets to prove its point, state its case. It opens in the state rankings. Geneseo will open at Dunlap, down in the Peoria area.
Geneseo, 50 consecutive winning seasons, have won 10 consecutive season openers. Geneseo knows how to play the game. They know how to win on the road in tough situations. They should be able to go to Dunlap and I think be able to come out there with a victory and be 1-0 again.
Of course, the delay of the Midwest 10 was the big off-season news. One bit of news that maybe got overlooked was that the Big Rivers expanded into the Three Rivers North and the Three Rivers South, and right away there's two games in that conference that catch your eye. We, of course, have Orion and Fulton knocking heads, and then Rock Ridge and Sterling Newman get to square off state ranking showdown week 1 at Newman, or I should say at Sterling on Saturday.
And Newman, last year went to the state semifinals in 3A. Rockridge qualified for the state playoffs. That should be a great matchup. Fulton, 1 win away from qualifying for the playoffs last year. Orion got hot at the end, went to the second round. So both those games are going to be really fascinating in terms of the complexity of how that conference race is going to shape up right at the start.
A lot of questions answered right off the kickoff, and of course there's one other question to think about. Mercer County opening the season, the 2A defending state champions open at home at George Pratt Memorial Field.
Yeah, they refurbished again. New tracks starting to get in place, hosting Ridgewood and a Lincoln Trail Conference matchup. So let's see if Mercer County, who has won 14 consecutive games, can extend that winning streak.
It's going to be an interesting first week. Make sure you pick up a copy of the Dispatch Argus to read your best prep sports coverage in the area. If we don't see you at a game this weekend, of course, we'll see you next week here on the Press Box.
Thanks for your time this time. Until next time, so long for just a while.